middle school, I played every single sport in the books. One of them being track. So this was 8th grade and we were going to a track meet. And on this track meet, I had a really close friend. And she saw a dude that she liked. So I ended up being her wingman. Like for part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, go watch it now so this can make sense. So we were at this track meet and my friend was like, ooh, that boy over there is cute. And we saw that there was a guy next to her. So she's like, come with me, come with me. So me being the woman that I am, I was like, girl, I ain't gonna let you go alone. I got you. I'll be your wingman. So we went up to them and we all exchanged numbers. Tell me why this dude that I just met, is going to start blowing up my phone. Hi, how are you? How are you? You look so beautiful. Like, can I call you my girl? My girl? We've only known each other for like 30 seconds, bro. My girl. You mean my acquaintance? I'm like, no, let's get to know each other a little bit more. And then he's like, okay, babe. Babe, stop. But you know, me being the young, naive girl that she was like, oh, he called me babe. He must like me. Okay, if you haven't watched part 1 and part 2, go watch those now. So right off the bat, he started calling me babe. After the first time he texted me, I was shook. But as a young, naive girl, you know, I had never had a boyfriend. I was like, ooh, you know, this is cute. He likes me. You know, he ain't that cute. He kind of looked like a frog, but you know, I can give him a chance. Just for visual representation purposes, he would do his hair like this. Ew! Moment of silence for me, please. So after like 3 days talking, he convinced me, I don't even know how, bro, to be his girlfriend. He was like, you know, we've been talking for so long. 3 days? Anyways, so we started dating. And this was literally a week before school was over. So he was going to a completely different school. Like, he didn't go to my school. Keep in mind, I never saw him again. We would just text and send pictures to each other from our flip phones. Like for part 4. If you haven't watched part 1, part 2, and part 3, you know the drill. So school was over, so we were never going to see each other again in any of the track meets. Plus, I'm Hispanic, so my mama, sure my daddy wasn't going to let me show up and be like, you know, I got a boyfriend and I'm in 8th grade. I would have been dead in my coffin. Like, no. So I clearly remember we had only been dating for like a week. School was over and he told me, I love you. You love who? Your mama? Your bed? I'm sorry, because not me. You can't love me. But my dumb self was like, I love you too. But I just didn't like the conversations because he was always like, I love you. I miss you. I miss you so much. I miss you so much. Boy, what do you have to miss? You have never like been with me. Like you have never seen me. Like we only met for like 30 seconds. So I ended up going to the summer camp. And this is where it got crazy. Like for part 5. If you haven't watched the other parts, you know what to do. So tell me why this is the 2nd week into dating and I'm going to the summer camp. This dude like literally went psycho. This is how I know that he's controlling. My phone died on the way going, okay? So I memorized his number. I texted him from my friend's phone and I was like, hey, I most likely won't be able to text you because I probably won't get signal at the camp and my phone died, but I'll talk to you after a week after camp. This dude was like, how are you going to do this to me? Are you going to be cheating on me? Are you going to be breaking up with me? What are you doing? What? Dude, I'm at a Christian camp. I'm about to go praise the Lord Jesus Christ. I might ride some horses and, you know, paddle boat, but I ain't doing nothing else. And he started blowing up my phone and my friend's phone. I swear to you, he sent like 600, 700 text messages. Part 6 is up. So this dude starts blowing up my phone and my friend's phone, like 600 text messages asking where I'm at, what I'm doing, if there's guys there, if I'm gonna cheat on him, if I don't love him, like what's going on. He would literally text my friend and be like, where is she at? I need to talk to her. Let me talk to her over the phone. And I'm like, bro, chill. I literally had to go climb a whole little mini mountain just to get signal on my flip phone. And I told him, if you don't stop texting my friend and threatening her, he was threatening her. He was like, if I find you and you don't let me talk to my girl, if you're not letting me talk to her, we're gonna fight. Boy, if you don't sit your 4'9" Oompa Loompa, spiky hair, armadillo looking self down, we's gonna have a problem. Again, we were only dating for like 2 weeks. Then this dude starts crying. I can hear him going, all that snot coming out of his. So when this dude started crying profusely, just and I could hear the snot and just the like you know when somebody's crying because your mama hit you like 20 times with the spatula. He was acting like I just killed his favorite puppy. Like I don't even know. I can't believe you're taking your friend's side. You're probably cheating on me. What? Are you freaking kidding me, dude? He's like, you haven't even sent me pictures in the last hour? Yes, he wanted me to send him pictures every hour. Who does that? At first, he tried to make it seem like, oh my God, like I miss you so much. I want to keep seeing you. But no, it was controlling. And you know what? Your girl catched up to it. And I was like, no, honey. No, ma'am. My mom taught me to be smarter. He was like, if you leave me, I'm going to die. Well, we know he didn't die because, he was on the Steve Wilkos show. But I was like, you know what? It's cracking. I don't have any signal. I can't hear you. And I never called him. I blocked him. Didn't talk to him again. Thank God.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and my friends and I were dropping off baked goods for an elderly widow in our town. And my friend and I stood by the getaway car while our guy friend went over because he was the fastest runner, and he put the cookies on the porch, and then he ran and he hid in a bush. And she didn't come out, and I guess he really wanted her to see them. So he ran back, rung the doorbell, and then he hid in a bush. And she didn't come out again, so he went up a third time, rang the doorbell, but this time he spun around almost immediately and started sprinting towards the car. And he was like, drive, drive, drive! And we were like, what? And we jump into the car, we started up, he dives into the car, and he was like, she called the cops? When I rang the doorbell, she screamed out that she called the cops. Something I still think about a lot is when my cousin bought his very first house, he invited me to a housewarming party. So I showed up and I said, congratulations on your new house. I brought you a pineapple. And his wife said, oh, we're not doing gifts. And I was like, that's okay. It's just a pineapple. And she said, no, thank you. And I was like, what? And she said, we just don't want a pineapple. And I said, oh, does somebody in the house have allergies? And she said, no, we just don't want a pineapple. And I was like, okay. And so I put it down on the table and I enjoyed the party. And then my way out the door, I was going to forget the pineapple on purpose. So I just left. And she scooped the pineapple off the table, chased me down with it and said, don't forget your pineapple. You can chop it up and eat it at home. And I was like, I will chop this up and eat it at home. And I'll use the rind to make juice. Because you can do that if you soak it overnight so that it doesn't destroy your blender. Bet you didn't know that. Bet you wish you had this pineapple now. But I just still to this. Why? It wasn't just that she didn't want the pineapple. What bothers me is that she aggressively did not want the pineapple. And why, Holly? Why? Why did you not want my pineapple?